a child's mangled body is discovered floating in a bay.
This is the first time in the Philippines a gruesome case wherein a child was killed and found stuck in a suitcase.
A young woman brutally raped and killed.
The victim was stabbed on the left side of her body with blood in her abdomen spilling out onto the floor.
A child allegedly raped by her elderly uncle.
The girl said that she woke up one morning and found her uncle on top of her, raping her.
Horrific crimes are being committed in the Philippines, and scientists are stepping up to assist police in their investigations. Dr. Maria Corazon de Ongria is one of the Philippines' top forensic experts specializing in DNA analysis.
In forensic DNA testing, I help the person in front of me.
Every single hair follicle and every single droplet of sweat contains a treasure trove of DNA that will lead investigators on a trail back to the criminals. p.m., June 30th, 1998, the northern province of Kalinga in the Philippines. After a long day at the family farm, Grandma Dee is returning home, eager to see her granddaughter Kay, who is waiting for her. Approaching her home, she senses something is amiss. The lights are off, and the door is wide open. Walking upstairs to check on her granddaughter, she is alarmed to find the bedroom door tied shut from the outside. After cutting the rope, she enters the bedroom. It is there she is met with a gruesome discovery. Her 17-year-old granddaughter lays dead under a blanket.
Underneath the blanket was a fully naked woman. On the left side of the body was found a slash. So the victim was actually killed by slashing the side of her body. Blood and guts were spilling out from the side.
Police soon arrive and determine the time of death to be between 9 a.m. and noon. They question neighbors and family members who may have seen anyone with the victim. Interviews reveal a potential suspect. However, there are no eyewitnesses, only circumstantial evidence.
One cousin said in one of the interviews that she saw the suspect coming down from the second floor of the victim's grandmother's house. The suspect was pacing up and down as if he was in deep thought, and eventually the suspect left the area.
The suspect turns out to be 24-year-old Joel Yatar, the estranged husband of the victim's aunt.
Joel Yatar resides or lives within the community or the area where the grandmother of the victim lives. This is the reason why he had access to the grandmother's house where the crime was committed.
Based on the cousin's statement, Yatar is arrested. He firmly denies knowing anything about the murder, claiming he was at the house to pick up some lumber for his mother. With only a shred of circumstantial evidence to connect the suspect with the crime, Chief DNA Analyst Dr. Maria Corazon de Ongria is called upon to provide scientific evidence. In the well-equipped laboratories of the Natural Sciences Research Institute, Dr. Ongria meticulously studies the result of the DNA analysis.
DNA samples can be extracted practically in any cell or tissue of our body. This can be blood cells, bone cells, hair, nails, muscle tissue. So any part of our body can be a source of DNA.
For Dr. Ongria, analyzing human DNA to solve complicated crimes is akin to putting together a giant jigsaw puzzle. Her time-consuming efforts are well worth every single minute spent when they serve as the determining factor in a case's outcome.
Forensic DNA evidence really makes you say the truth, or at least helps us to see the truth. As forensic scientists, we do not side with the defense or the prosecution. We only report what data we generate.
A doctor called to the bloody crime scene analyzes the body and immediately suspects rape. She dutifully collects several biological samples from the victim that may prove vital later in the case.
DNA evidence is important in rape cases because there is contact, very, very close contact, between the perpetrator and the victim. So the probability that the perpetrator has left his own biological sample, whether it's blood, semen, or saliva, on the body of the victim is quite high.
The vaginal smear slides and a blood-stained blouse recovered from the scene are sent to Dr. Ungria's laboratory for DNA testing. But when she examines the evidence documentation, Dr. Ungria immediately notices an error that will put the entire case in jeopardy.